Refer to the graph of y equals cosine x, shown here. On the interval from minus 2 pi to 2 pi, find all values of x such that y equals negative 0.5. Also, y is greater than negative 0.5, and y is less than negative 0.5. Well, let's sketch a line at y equal 0.5. Horizontal line there will give us the y-coordinate for all these solutions, and that by intersecting with the graph of cosine gives us 4 possible candidate solutions. Now we're going to want to find the locations of those solutions. Given the fact that we know that the cosine of pi over 3 is equal to 1/2, or 0.5, we have a starting point for our solution. Of course, that's a positive 0.5. That corresponds actually to this location on the curve. To find the solution here, we see we could look on a unit circle and notice that if we go out an angle of pi over 3, that gives us the positive 0.5. If we use this reference angle in the second quadrant of pi over 3, that is, we would, to find the angle for that, we'd subtract pi over 3 from pi, giving us 2 pi over 3. We can find this angle is going to give us an xy pair of negative 1/2 root 3 over 2, which is showing us that the cosine for that angle is the negative 0.5 that we sought. So one solution is 2 pi over 3. For that angle, we'll have a cosine value of negative 0.5. Another can be found by using the unit circle and dropping down pi over 3 units past pi. So I'll take pi plus pi over 3 this time. That gives me a value of 4 pi over 3 for a second solution. These two solutions I've noted are these two locations on the graph. Now what I'll do to find the other two solutions that are apparent from the graph is just use the symmetry in the cosine function. This root at, or the solution at 2 pi over 3 corresponds to another solution at negative 2 pi over 3. And likewise, this 4 pi over 3 corresponds to another solution at negative 4 pi over 3. And that gives me the 4 solutions. So I'll just write plus or minus and plus or minus here in order to finish this solution up. Another way we could get that, by the way, is to take each of the two starting solutions that we found and subtract 2 pi from there. I could start here, go back 2 pi, and in either case you would end up with these same two solutions that we had found, these two negative solutions that we had found. There are 4 solutions altogether though, and they're given by these two expressions. We are also asked, that answers part A, we're also asked to answer part B and part C. Part B says where is this, what are the x values for which the solution is above our horizontal line that we've drawn. And we can see that is true from, let's see, from minus 2 pi up to this point at negative 4 pi over 3. That point is not included because we have strict inequality here, and at negative 4 pi over 3 we have a value of negative 0.5 precisely, so we can't include that. But we could add in the interval between negative 2 pi over 3 and positive 2 pi over 3 as some additional x coordinates that produce a value above the cutoff line. The portion in between here doesn't satisfy the condition for part B, but everything past 4 pi over 3 also does, so we'll insert that here, 4 pi over 3 to 2 pi. 2 pi does give us a value that's greater than negative 0.5, so we'll include that in the interval. Part C is done similarly. It's just everything that has been left out from parts A and part B, and so I'll make note of that. That's simply the intervals from minus 4 pi over 3, that's starting here, up to negative 2 pi over 3, open parentheses because neither of those is included. The other piece of this is the part here that dips below. That's between 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. So that answers all 3 parts of the question.